My brother Tinyabu, I am not writing to you with the soft gloves of diplomacy or the empty smiles we exchange at those useless summits. I am writing as one soldier to another who has forgotten what it means to wear the uniform of duty. I am Ibrahim Traore, the man who took Burkina Faso by the throat when the terrorists were already inside our houses, raping our daughters and burning our fields. And I am telling you plainly, without the honey of politics. You are too weak, too nonchalant, too comfortable in that Aso rock chair while Nigeria bleeds to death. Look at your own land, Tinyabu. Every single day, your people are slaughtered like goats in the market. In Zamfara, in Kaduna, in Katsina, bandits ride in like kings, kidnap schoolgirls by the hundreds, demand ransoms that your government negotiates like traitors in the dark. In the northeast, Boko Haram and ISWAP still cut throats in villages your army claims to control. In the southeast, unknown gunmen turn roads into graveyards. Farmers cannot go to their fields without writing their wills first. Mothers in Benue and Plateau bury their sons before they even learn to walk. And what do? You issue press releases. You promise decisive action that never comes. You fly to foreign capitals begging for drones and loans while the blood of your own citizens dries on Nigerian soil. I have read the reports. I have seen the videos your own citizens post because your media is too afraid or too bought to show the truth. Whole communities wiped out. Bodies left to rot because no one comes to bury them. Children with their heads smashed against rocks because their parents could not pay 5 million naira. And you, Tinyabu, you sit there in your Igbada, talking about renewed hope, while the hope of millions is being machine-gunned into the ground. Where is the fire? Where is the rage? Where is the man who is supposed to be the president of Africa's largest nation? In Burkina Faso, we did not inherit peace. We inherited corpses and chaos. The jihadists had taken half our territory. France was still playing games with our sovereignty. Our own army was demoralized, under-equipped, and full of traitors. But the day I took responsibility, we stopped begging. We stopped making excuses. We mobilized the people, armed the volunteers, hunted the terrorists village by village, and we are winning back our land with our own blood and our own will. No foreign base tells us when to fight. No IMF loan decides whether our children live or die. We chose sovereignty over comfort. We chose victory over speeches. You have more soldiers than I do. You have more money than I do. You have oil, you have ports, you have the manpower of 200 million souls. Yet the killers roam freely while you attend ceremonies and cut ribbons. Your ministers smile for cameras while widows wail in the villages. Your security chiefs give press conferences claiming normalcy, while another bus is burned and its passengers executed on the roadside. This is not leadership. This is negligence dressed in designer clothes. This is weakness pretending to be patience. This is a man who has grown too soft to do what must be done. I do not say this to humiliate you for the cameras. I say it because the blood of your people is calling out louder than any election slogan ever could. Nigerian mothers do not want another budget speech. They want their children back alive. Nigerian farmers do not want another foreign investment summit. They want to plant maize without burying their brothers beside the furrows. The youth you keep promising jobs to are instead picking up guns or running away because they see no future under a leader who refuses to fight for them. You still have time, Tinyabu. You still sit in the seat. The army is still yours to command. The intelligence services still report to you. The people are still waiting, desperate, angry, but waiting, for a president who will finally stand up and say, enough, with more than just his mouth. But that time is running out faster than you think. The killings are not slowing down. They are spreading. The shame is growing. The anger is boiling. I am not asking you to copy Burkina Faso. I am telling you to remember what it means to be a leader when your house is on fire. Stop being nonchalant. Stop being weak. Either rise up and become the man Nigeria needs right now. Ruthless against the killers, uncompromising with failure, willing to bleed with your people, or make way for someone who still has the stomach for it. The blood is still flowing, Tinyabu, and it is not waiting for your next press conference. The blood is still flowing, Tinyabu, and it is not waiting for your next press conference. Worse still, The whole world can see what you yourself refuse to admit in the quiet of your own chambers. You are so hell-bent on re-election in 2027 that you have turned the presidency into a permanent campaign platform instead of the war room it was always meant to be. Every decision, every appointment, every late-night meeting in Aso Rock is now filtered through one obsessive question. How will this help me win again? Not how will this stop the next massacre in Borno? Not how will this rescue the school children chained in the Sambisa forest? Not how will this give a widow in Plateau the justice she has begged for since her husband's head was paraded on a stick? No. The only calculation that seems to matter to you now is votes, alliances, godfathers, and the next wave of propaganda that will flood the airwaves while the villages burn. You have become a prisoner of your own ambition. You reshuffle the service chiefs not because the last ones failed to end the killings, but because you need men who will pledge loyalty to your second term before they pledge loyalty to the Nigerian people. You pump billions into security votes that disappear into private accounts and political war chests while soldiers in the trenches beg for ammunition and fuel. You sign multi-billion-dollar contracts for fighter jets and surveillance drones, then parade them on television like election billboards. Yet the bandits still operate with impunity because the real war is being fought on the battleground of public relations, not on the killing fields where your citizens are dying. Every town hall, every state visit, every carefully staged photo op is scripted to project renewed hope, while the real Nigeria, bleeding, broken, terrified, is locked outside the gates of your calculation. I know what power does to men, Tinubu. I have seen it up close in my own country before we seized it back. Power whispers sweet lies. Stay safe. Play the game. Don't rock the boat too hard. The people will forget the bodies if you give them enough rice and fuel subsidies during election season. And you have listened. You have listened so intently that the primary duty of a president, the sacred, non-negotiable duty to protect the lives of the governed, has been demoted to a secondary footnote, something to be managed by press statements and ongoing operations that never end because they were never truly begun. You speak of infrastructure, of GDP growth, of attracting foreign investors, as if a nation whose people cannot travel their own highways without writing farewell messages to their families can ever truly develop. You are building flyovers in Lagos while entire local government areas in the north have become no-go zones ruled by AK-47s and fear. The Nigerian people are not fools. They see you dancing at campaign rallies in 2026 while fresh graves are still being dug in 2025. They see your ministers jetting off to Davos and Dubai to sell Nigeria's story, while the real story is being told in the silent screams of abducted girls whose names you will never bother to learn. They see the billions budgeted for defense ending up in party coffers and private estates, because securing the country is now less important than securing the ticket for 2027. This is not governance. This is political necrophilia, making love to power while the corpse of the nation lies cold beneath you. You still have the seat, Tinubu. The Constitution still gives you the instruments of state, the army, the police, the intelligence agencies, the emergency powers when you need them. You could declare a national emergency on insecurity tomorrow and mean it. You could sack the entire security architecture that has failed for years and replace it with men who fear failure more than they fear losing their positions. You could arm the people who want to defend their own land instead of criminalizing them as bandits when they pick up Dane guns to protect what is left of their farms. You could stop the endless political horse trading and the godfather politics that keep recycling the same failures in uniform. But you won't. Not while the re-election clock is ticking louder in your ears than the gunfire in the villages. The blood of your citizens is not campaign collateral damage, Tinubu. It is not a sacrifice to be offered on the altar of a second term. It is the direct result of a president who has allowed his hunger for power to eclipse his duty to protect life. And the longer you sit there calculating 2027 instead of commanding the fight for 2025, the deeper the graves will be dug, the louder the widows will wail, and the angrier the youth will become. The very youth whose votes you are already counting in your head while they count the coffins leaving their communities. I am still not done speaking to you, because the truth must sink in like a blade. The blood is still flowing. I am still not done speaking to you, because the truth must sink in like a blade. The blood is still flowing. While you chase the ghosts of 2027, counting delegates and scripting campaign jingles, I took a broken Burkina Faso in September 2022, a country where jihadists roamed half our territory like landlords, where displaced families slept under trees, where French troops collected our taxes in the name of security, and our own soldiers died with empty magazines. I did not call for summits or beg Paris or Washington. I did not reshuffle generals to buy loyalty for the next election. I stood before my people and said, "We will reclaim our land with our own hands or die trying." And in less than 4 years we have done what your Nigeria, with its oil wealth and 200 million souls, still refuses to attempt. Look at the land I inherited and what it has become. We have taken back over 70% of the territory once written off as lost. Villages that had not seen a Burkinabe flag in years now fly it again because we recruited, trained, armed, and deployed tens of thousands of volunteers for the defense of the homeland alongside a restructured army that no longer waits for foreign drones to do the fighting. We bought our own equipment with our own gold revenues. We launched joint operations under the Alliance of Sahel States, my brothers in Mali and Niger beside me, and our unified force of thousands now patrols the Liptako-Gourma border as one. No more begging ECOWAS to lift sanctions while our children starve. We left that club of talkers and built our own confederation. Common biometric passports, shared intelligence, coordinated strikes that have sent jihadists fleeing instead of negotiating ransoms like traders in the market. And the transformation is not only in the barrel of a gun. It is in the soil, in the factories, in the veins of our economy. When I took office, our GDP stood at barely $18.8 billion. Today it has climbed past $22 billion because we stopped exporting raw gold like colonial subjects and built our first national refinery. We nationalized key mines, Bungu, Wagnian and 5 more, through our state company Sapamib. Last year alone we produced a record 94 tons of gold under Burkinabe control. That money is no longer vanishing into foreign accounts. It is paying for roads, for clinics, for the future. We nationalized road construction itself, bought the machines, trained our own engineers, and we are laying 5,000 kilometers of paved roads every year where previous governments built 3,000 since independence. 2 tomato processing plants now run on Burkinabe capital. Production jumped from 315,000 tons to 360,000. Millet soared from 907,000 to 1.1 million tons. Rice from 280,000 to 326,000. In 2025, we declared food self-sufficiency for the first time in decades. Farmers who once fled now plant wheat, pineapples, even cocoa and coffee on land we once thought impossible. We rejected every IMF and World Bank loan with its chains of austerity. We paid off our local debts instead. We cut the salaries of ministers and kept my own captain's pay. 55 new rural medical centers are rising. A polytechnic university is under construction. An electric vehicle assembly plant is turning out Sahel models named after our alliance. Cement plants, flour mills, generic drug factories, all Burkinabe owned, all running without begging foreign capital. The AES is not a photo op alliance like your endless ECOWAS meetings. It is 3 nations that chose sovereignty over survival on handouts. We created a confederation with its own investment mechanisms, its own defense command in Niamey, its own roadmap for 2026 that my ministers and those of Mali and Niger are hammering out right now in Ouagadougou. Vocational schools, technological universities, a scanning electron microscope for our scientists so our children no longer fly to Europe to study their own soil. We are building the Africa we were told was impossible. Self-reliant, armed, fed, and proud. Our people feel it. Displaced families, over 1.6 million, have begun returning home. Schools that were closed for years have reopened for hundreds of thousands of children. Markets that were ghost towns now buzz again because the terrorists know we will hunt them to the last village, not issue another communique. You have everything I never had when I started. Tinyabu. You have the Atlantic ports, the refineries, the largest army in West Africa, the oil that could fund 100 AES-style transformations. Yet your farmers still write wills before going to the field. Your schoolgirls are still traded like livestock. Your roads are still killing fields. Because you chose the ballot box over the battlefield. You chose the next term over the next generation. I chose the opposite, and Burkina Faso is rising while Nigeria sinks. The blood is still flowing.